Sad day in America. Sad day in New York. Sad day for all of us. Governor Andrew Cuomo signs into law the most abortion-friendly laws in the country. Not only does he want to make abortion a constitutional right in the state of New York, but now abortion is legal right up to the point of birth. So if a woman knows she's going to have a baby on Saturday, she can go in for an abortion on Friday. And the other evil caveat to this bill that got a standing ovation in the New York Senate and caused World Trade Center to be lit up in pink and some type of victory celebration. It is now illegal in New York for doctors or any medical staff to render life-saving assistance if an aborted baby survives the abortion. Stop and think how evil and barbaric that is. Is that really a woman's choice? Because that's where we're told, even with the trashing of these Covington students, that they were there protesting a woman's right to choose. A woman's right to choose what? Murder? Big deal. The New York Catholic Diocese has issued a, "We stand against this decision by Andrew Cuomo." Really? Are you going to excommunicate him and kick him out of the church? He is Roman Catholic, correct? Hey, New York Diocese. Hey, Pope. I know you like to issue these words. Is there any action to any of that stuff that you people say you believe? All these Catholic politicians that claim to believe that personally they would not want their daughter to have an abortion, but they wouldn't inflict their religious conviction onto other people. You now have a governor who has signed into law that there is absolutely now no restriction, no reason whatsoever why a woman can have an abortion at any point of the pregnancy. And you don't find that immoral, evil, Nazi-esque with concentration camps and torture and murder and brutality? Catholic Church, is Andrew Cuomo welcome to attend, receive communion, be considered part of the flock? Will you actually follow Scripture? 6 things does the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination. And one of those being listed was hands that shed innocent blood. What could possibly be more innocent than an infant? Completely and defenseless within the mother's womb. It used to be said that the hand that rocks the cradle rules the nation. The profound influence that a mother has on a child, even a strong, domineering male child, the influence that a mother has. So what does it say about a society where mothers are allowed to kill their own offspring? You know, the other night my wife and I watched a movie with Robin Williams, Patch Adams. And if you know the story at all, there's a scene where after someone very close to Robin's character dies at the hands of another person, Robin makes this statement: the human species is the only species that kills its own. What does it say about a mother who chooses to kill her child? And the fact that now Governor Cuomo has stated it can be done right up to birth, and if the baby happens to survive the abortionist techniques, no life-saving assistance can be rendered. In 2008, when Barack Obama was running for the presidency, this came up because when he was senator of Illinois, he proposed this exact same legislation. In fact, he proposed it when he was a state senator, and then he proposed it when he went to the United States Senate. And he couldn't get anybody on board to co-author it with him, and he went to Ted Kennedy. And Ted Kennedy, it was too liberal, too far, too murderous, even for Ted Kennedy to sign on to. So congratulations, son of Mario, Mr. Andrew Cuomo. Congratulations. You've now signed into law something that a vile individual like Ted Kennedy would have opposed. And in case you think I'm making that up, let me take you back in time and explain to you what it was Obama wanted to do.
At what point does a baby get human rights, in your view?
Well, I think that whether you're looking at it from a theological perspective or a scientific perspective, answering that question with specificity, is above my pay grade.
If they make a mistake, I don't want them punished with a baby.
Well, the first thing I do as president is sign the Freedom of Choice Act. That's the first thing that I do. I have stood up for the freedom of choice in the United States Senate.
Now, when you describe a specific procedure that accounts for less than 1% of the abortions that take place, then naturally people get concerned.
Steve and Pam will tell you that we fought together in the Illinois State Senate against restrictive choice legislation, laws just like the federal abortion laws.
When I testified before an Illinois State Senate committee about my experience, Barack Obama was unmoved and actually opposed the Born Alive Infant Protection Act, which was legislation designed to stop this barbaric practice of leaving delivered babies out to die. But this one guy, Barack Obama, thought that infanticide was acceptable and voted to protect it. Some people have said that Barack Obama was uninformed or may not have fully understood the implications of this bill, but he voted against it 3 times. That's calculated. He himself has defended his vote by saying that he would have voted for it had it been identically worded as a federal bill. But as chairman of the Health and Human Services Committee in 2003, he stopped the identical wording from being introduced. Barack Obama can play word games, but at the end of the day, his opposition was responsible for living babies being left out to die. And that is indefensible.
Now, when you describe a specific procedure that accounts for less than 1% of the abortions that take place, then naturally people get concerned.
And there you have it. And now Andrew Cuomo has signed that exact same legislation into law in the state of New York. Unbelievable. It's unconscionable. I want to know where the Black Caucus is. I want to know where the minority communities are, because you do know that Planned Parenthood is a result of that genocidal maniac, Margaret Stanger.
I believe that there should be no more babies. I believe that there should be no more babies. 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 No more babies.
And that abortion and family planning and birth control was thought out for no other reason than to control the birth and the reproduction of the undesirables of our society, i.e., the black race. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm exaggerating? Here's another history lesson.
In 1939, Margaret Sanger, co-founder of Planned Parenthood, started the Negro Project with the aim of slowing and then reversing the growth of the black population. A staunch advocate of eugenics, the so-called science of purifying the human gene pool, Sanger viewed certain races, especially blacks, as genetically inferior and inclined towards producing human weeds. Reckless breeders spawning human beings who never should have been born. Sanger's strategies, still followed by Planned Parenthood today, involve recruiting so-called progressive black leaders who are persuaded that slowing back birth rates was a key to their people's future success and prosperity. A profoundly disproportionate number of abortion clinics were placed near the inner cities, and since then, an equally disproportionate number of our African American population, more than 15 million, has been weeded out by abortion.
On this fundamental issue, I will not yield, and Planned Parenthood will not yield, because we know that what's at stake is more than whether or not a woman can choose an abortion. Choices about how we lead our lives.
As the most pro-abortion candidate in American history, Barack Obama will make sure this weeding continues. Say no to abortion. Say no to black genocide in the Negro Project.
This is evil. This is pure evil. As many of you know, I broadcast here in Central Florida, but my broadcasting facilities are in Northwest Ohio. Our governor, newly elected Governor DeWine, has stated that he would sign the infant heartbeat abortion law. It was a bill that Governor Kasich, who claims to be a never-Trumper and a real conservative, vetoed just before he left office. Governor DeWine has said he will sign it. Basically, the law is this: that once a fetal heartbeat can be detected, the child cannot be aborted. That usually happens right about 6 weeks, where it can be detected. The heartbeat starts much sooner than that, obviously. But it can be detected at about 6 weeks. Opponents of the bill say, well, a lot of times the woman doesn't even know she's pregnant then. Well, how do I say this delicately? If you don't want to do the time, don't do the crime. Don't engage in the activity that could get you pregnant if you don't want to be pregnant. Because murder cannot be an option. So New York just signs the most liberal, welcoming, evil, unrestrictive abortion laws in the country. And Ohio stands ready to put the most restrictive abortion laws into play. And if you truly believe in the right to life and that God holds life near, dear, and precious, which state do you think is going to get blessed? And which one do you think is going to get judged?